Anna, Lexi, Eliza, Maddie, and Sydney, congratulations. This is my first ever commencement address, but we're all doing new things in this pandemic. So please be as kind to me as you are to your friends who think they are professional bakers now. I am honored to be part of this strange and special day for you. Commencement addresses are actually a niche favorite of mine. And Katie Miley and I, funnily enough, in the Olympic Village, to calm down at night after the excitement of finals, would watch old graduation speeches. So I won't be offended if anyone nods off during this one. Graduating college is not a uniform experience. Each of you took a unique path to this moment. For some of you, this day might have always been a given. And for some of you, it may have been more of a struggle, and there may have been times when you doubted that you would get here to this moment. Part of graduation is celebrating the past, all of your accomplishments and effort up to this moment, and I do hope that you are tremendously proud of yourselves for what you've done. One of the most surprising things from my Olympic experience was actually that last part of that video that was played, standing on the podium with a gold medal around my chest and the Star-Spangled Banner playing. I found myself thinking about the meets that I went to as an 8-year-old and the old age group friends and coaches that I had. And I think that showed me that the reward and the meaning is found in the process and the doing. And I'm sure you guys are feeling that acutely right now as the pomp and circumstance of this normally very festive and fancy day is stripped down to the essentials here on this Zoom call with over 100 people who know you and love you and are so proud of you. So I think the more interesting part of graduating is thinking about all that is to come, since you have only 20 or so years behind you and many, many more ahead. In normal times, commencements would focus on all of those good things that are in front of you, how important it is to find your bliss and follow your passion. And goodness and happiness are still, of course, in store. The pandemic cannot take that away. But I will use this global crisis as an excuse to venture off the beaten commencement path. You are swimmers and divers, so I know you understand monotony and hard work and disappointments and what we will call the grind. I hope as your athletic careers wind down and you enter the real world, that you continue to appreciate hard things. Because I know, and I know you know, that doing hard things with people you respect is not always happy, but it is always meaningful. So my advice to you, which is now a little bit easier to heed since we're in these crazy times, is not to be too wrapped up in pursuing happiness, but instead to look for meaning and purpose, and not to be surprised when those are most often found in the challenges. So the future is exciting for all the meaningful and fulfilling experiences out ahead for you, but it's also exciting because of all the people that you will impact. This is a great time to consider, if you haven't fully already, what you feel your obligation to be to other people in your lives, your obligation to strangers, and your obligation to those less fortunate than you. One long-standing truth that has been reinforced during this time is that people can get used to just about anything. We've always adapted to the mundane and the harmless, like waking up at 5 a.m. for practice and being constantly hungry and tired from training. And in this pandemic, we get used to hunting for flour and toilet paper and living in sweatpants for a month straight. But we're also good at getting used to more serious and unfortunate circumstances. Like my mom, who's a nurse, getting used to just using one mask for her whole shift. And you 5 ladies dealing with experiencing a momentous life accomplishment, college graduation, over Zoom. But just because we can adapt to almost anything doesn't mean that we should. There are things in this world that you should not accept and shouldn't get used to, and the pandemic has laid some of these things bare. I wouldn't presume to tell you the specific injustice or issue that you should care about most, but I do hope that you have one, or that you find one. Then apply the same tenacity that you've used to swim and dive for nearly your entire lives up to this moment, and use it to make a little dent, a little improvement in the world. There are so many people waiting for you five who will benefit from you becoming the best, most generous, most courageous versions of yourself. So happy graduation, and now go get to work. Congratulations.